When Revis goes into the Hall of Fame, and he's known, of course, as Revis Island, did that bring back memories of your career?
I mean, yeah, probably anybody's career that was successful at it. Because Revis was phenomenal. I mean, I love watching him. We actually had a few moments where we hung out a few times in New York City when I used to just hang out all the time. When I was no kids, no family. But yeah, I idolized Revis while he played too. Man, he was phenomenal, phenomenal DB.
You also returned kicks, right?
Yeah, yes, I did. Yep, that was fun.
Why?
Like I said, I'm a little I'm a little on the crazy side. I played professional football at 170 pounds. Something's wrong with you, right? I played college football at 150
8 years.
pounds. Ridiculous.
Oh.
I don't know, man. So because I still have an offensive heart, I always wanted to still score touchdowns.
Give me the
And
ball.
it's something about me. Yeah, something about me feeling like there's no way somebody coming full speed in the opposite direction can hit me. I don't know why I had that thought, but I won most of my battles. I never got hurt, never had any big injuries, thank God. My whole career from college to pro. So I was doing something right.
Give us your most cherished memory of a particular game that you played at Fordham.
Cherished memory of oh man. Wow. Probably when we lost. When we lost our second round playoff game to Villanova, that was just the just every aspect of that game, the pregame speeches from the players, from the coaches, just being on a stage so big that Fordham has never had at that time. Like we were playing Villanova, one more game and we're on ESPN. Like all these thoughts are in your mind. Like, oh my God, one more game, we're on ESPN. Are you kidding me? And their stadium was probably the biggest. No, not the biggest stadium, but it was the most. It was probably the most packed stadium that we played in. Uh, uh yeah, definitely in our career, and we were just so close. But it was a tough game, man, and like you felt the pain, you felt the agony, and it was something that I didn't want to feel, but it was like it had to happen, like just because it was a good, it was a good run. It was a good run for sure.
Uh, Talk, Ted, about your coaches. Talk about those who took care of you, your training staff and such.
Oh man, so like I said, Coach Dave Clawson saved my life, and I don't think I've ever told him that, but he did just give me the full scholarship to Fordham. I had some very good defensive back coaches that come through. Chip West, one of them. Actually, him and Dave Clawson are still together right now at Wake Forest. Jason George, he turned us all into men. That was our strength and conditioning coach. Man, if you experienced Jason George at Fordham, you elevated yourself in as a human being. Period.
He ran you through
But
the
yeah,
gauntlet.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure. There's a lot of stuff that I probably can still do that not anyone else can do for sure. We had some tough workouts,
When you
but
played
yeah,
at
so
Jack,
Chip West for sure.
uh-huh.
Good.
When you played at Jack Coffey Field, who was your cheering section? Who came to watch you play?
Oh man, so when I was there, my family that came was known as Tad's cheerleaders. Like everybody knew. My mother, my grandmother, my sister, and my aunts, my aunts and cousins for sure. So they were really big at tailgating, and everybody knew they would always cook out and have some really good food. My family's very well known for cooking, so yeah, my cheerleaders were my grandmother, my aunts, my sister, and my mother, and
Of the
my dad too as well when he was in town.
14 interceptions, is there one that stands out among all of them? It's probably like trying to
At
pick a.
Fordham,
It's probably like trying to pick a favorite child.
you know what? One I don't have one. I just have those games that I had three. Those are special. The Duquesne game was special, man. I think those just because I've the emotions that were going through my game through me during that game, just because the scouts came there for him and not me.
Mm.
I still can't get over that.
Is there one record you're most proud of?
No, not really. I'm proud of making Fordham Hall of Fame. I'm proud of winning championships. Um, that's about it. Anything else that ever came, it was always a bonus for me. I've always been a team guy, always been a player's player, and I've always cared about accomplishing the main goal, the end goal, right? So that's all I've ever cared about. Everything else is a bonus. And
After your final season, you received the Vincent T. Lombardi Award as Fordham's Male Athlete of the Year. What did that mean to you?
oh man, it meant a lot, man. I mean, given the fact that there's so many other sports that are on campus and so many other great players that came that year, me being recognized for what I did that year, I mean, it's priceless. You can't. It's a surreal feeling. It was just another thing to add to major accomplishments for not only me but for my teammates, my coaches, and my family as well.
Tell us about graduation day.
Graduation day. Oh man, it was it's a bunch it's a bunch of us acting like it didn't matter, right? Like it was just another day. Until you walk across that stage, you look at your family, they're emotional, they're making you emotional. It's a great feeling, man, because it's something that, you know, it brings back all your old memories of just everything you sacrificed, everything you put into just to even just try to get to college and stay in high school and go against all the negativity, especially from where I come from. It's a pretty tough town, right? There's a lot of tough things that go on in Trenton, New Jersey. And when you cross that stage and you look back at your family and they're emotional and they hug you after you get off and they tell you you don't have no idea, but you did it. And you start thinking like, wow, you know what? I did do it. This is incredible, and it's another surreal feeling in life for sure that you will never forget.
And is the first in the family to do so.
Yes, yes. I've always set goals, and I've always never doubted myself. So I just knew if I ever got the opportunity to showcase what I can do, I'm going to do it, no matter what, no matter what.
Just want the chance.
Just want a chance.
Did you, speaking of goals, was that to play professional football?
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, when you come from inner cities and all you see is like, you don't see too many positive things. You don't see doctors and lawyers every corner or every left and right side of you. You see negative stuff. You see violence. You see blue collar workers. You see a lot of things that don't really inspire you to go to college. To be honest, you just want to try to make money and make ends meet. And so once you get to that point, it's like I did it.
You were undrafted by the NFL, and I read that your game was more suited for the CFL, which has the wider and longer field. Was there disappointment that you didn't get a bite from the NFL?
Oh, it was a tremendous disappointment, to be honest. I was the number one DB in the nation in one to play. I was told to, I was told that before I even did the pro day and all that stuff, and we had talked, you talk to scouts and stuff. I was told I had to be at least 180 pounds. You're way too light. You got to at least lift. So they do. I don't know if you know, but they do a bench press test for your pro day for trying out for the NFL. you have to do a certain amount of reps at 225. They said you have to do 225 at least 6 or 7 times. Like they're talking to me like I'm not going to make this happen. Your 40-yard dash has to be at least a 4.4. Like we hear you're like a 4.6, 4.7 guy, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff, all these lists. And when it was time to come, I blew everything out the park. You ranked me at number one. I didn't say I was number one. You said I was number one. I destroyed all the times that you asked me to do. I was actually 183 pounds for the first time ever in my life, and probably the only time. and and had some private workouts with Giants, the Redskins, the 49ers. That had some pretty good, decent workouts. And to be told you're probably going to go 4th round and then don't even get a free agent contract, a little disappointing. A little disappointing. You go up to Canada, and all these guys are like, "What are you doing up here? Why are you not in the NFL?" A little disappointing, you know. So, but I've always believed that everything happens for a reason, you know. So it got to me, but I moved on. I moved forward, obviously, and played my 8-year career in Canada, which was amazing.
It is amazing. So there's no opportunity in the NFL. So tell us how you wind up in Canada.
So I didn't get a call. I didn't get drafted. I didn't get a call after draft day. So my agent decided that the CFL was the best option, next option for me to do. Unless I wanted to wait, unless I wanted to wait for NFL Europe at the time, or see if I get a call later on. But if I wanted to play football right now, I had to make this decision because the CFL starts earlier than NFL. Crazy story. Buffalo Bills called me to sign me 2 weeks after I set my contract. No, not even 2 weeks. A week after I set my contract in for the CFL. But back then, the CFL had like, this is all true stories.
No. Wow. Yeah.
But back then they had a breach of contract clause. The CFL, NFL. Once a player signs with the CFL, NFL player, NFL can't touch him. Yeah, until the contract's up. So yeah, so once that was another jab in the rib cage. Yeah. So if I probably would have waited two weeks, I would have been a Buffalo Bill.
But you were no flash in the pan, young man. 8 years. Pro football.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
A championship, played in
Absolutely.
4 championship games, 4 Grey Cup games, one in 2007, yep. Made all-star teams, was voted one of the top 50 players in the league. You made an imprint. You made an impression.
I won 2. I won 2 Grey Cups. One in 2011 too.
Right. 8 years. For the guy they said was too small, couldn't play.
Yeah, it was amazing, man. I mean, I look back now and like, wow, you really played professional football for 8 years at 170 pounds. This is crazy. You know, so it is honor. It's an amazing accomplishment. And as I get older, I accept it more than I used to.
So you get inducted into the Fordham Hall of Fame in 2011. How were you told?
Yeah. Mr. Joe DeBerry. Joe called me, said this is well overdue, even though I got it the first year you possibly could. And he gave me the call, and it was a surreal moment as well because I was around my family at the time, and they were all happy. You know, we all were happy, and it's an awesome accomplishment for sure.
What do you remember about your day of enshrinement into the hall?
You know what? I remember how I said I don't really get nervous during games. I was nervous that day because I not only had to speak for myself, I had to speak for all the other inductees. So
You're it.
I'm like, I can care less if I fumble for myself, but I can't fumble for these guys. Yeah, so I spoke for all the inductees. They all said I did very well. But yeah, it was another emotional moment. I thought I was going to be able to, you know, make it through without getting choked up, but I definitely got choked up looking at my family, looking at friends that were there as well, and also looking at others' families, right? Because I am an emotional guy, so I'm thinking about other people's family while I'm, saying their speeches out on the podium for them. So yeah, it was tough. It was tough,
So, what are
but
your
it was surreal.
emotions? Speaking of emotions, what are your emotions when you come back to school and you see your plaque?
I love it, man. It was cool. It's been cool. It's been a while since it's been up there, but it was cool to show my son my plaque. So just to see his reaction, I showed him my son and Joe. Joe walked him over to see it, and it was pretty cool just to see his reaction. And that's what it's about, right? It's about leaving a legacy and leaving your name behind, so family and friends can always see it.
And when you come back, besides seeing your plaque, Ted, what goes through your mind when you look out on Jack Coffey Field?
This field used to be Tad Kornegay's field. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears on that field. I mean, a lot of emotions. I mean, I can remember all the good times, the bad times. I can remember 9/11. That my freshman year. It was a crazy time. So there's a lot of emotions on that field for sure.
So, what is Ted doing now?
Well, Tad now is trying to be Mr. Everything again for some reason. Just can't focus on one thing. Uh, I own my own non-toxic cleaning solution for cars, planes, and boats called Luminous. Um, I uh, I've been running that company for the last 6 years, I want to say. Outside of that, I also dibble and dabble in a little bit of consultancy for companies, do a lot of connecting with businesses, as well as new business ventures with health and wellness products. Um, and also, which I can't really say too much about, but I'm getting back into the sports side of things on the operational side, but more so focus on athletes and fan base. But I can't talk about
How
it right
did
now.
We'll come back and we'll talk to you again about it some other time. How did you get into the cleaning business?
Friend of a friend introduced me to a gentleman that had a product that was originally in Brazil, never been outsourced. Um, and he showed me the product. I seen how phenomenal it worked. I seen how non-toxic it was. It was just something I never seen work before without the use of water. So this basically it cleans. It I can't say it. I used to could say it disinfects, but I can't say that now. But yeah, it does that as well without any water. And I was like, how fast can I get it here? So created a company with him, took off, did very well. Um, COVID obviously put us in the back burner a little bit. Once everything cleared up, we got back on track, and it's still doing very well to this day.
So it cleans all surfaces, including floors. Speaking of floors, Ted, the
Yeah.
floor is yours. Sum up your Fordham experience and what you would like to say to the Fordham community.
Well, I can say that my Fordham experience was the best thing that ever happened to me. I got the best of both worlds as far as campus life, beautiful campus life, and you're right down the street from the biggest and best city in the world. You're just a train or ram van away from New York City. Um, I can't say more about the camaraderie, the friendships, the brotherhoods that I've gained over the years at Fordham, and the successfulness from all of the guys that I've played with, people that I've just became friends with in the classrooms. Uh, you just meet some phenomenal people at Fordham. And no matter where you go in the world, I promise you not, you're going to see the maroon somewhere. I mean, I've traveled probably 6 or 7 different countries, and somebody either knows Fordham or oh, you're a Ram, go Rams. You'll see it. It's crazy how small our school is, but how big it is when it comes to just being out in the world. And I just recommend everybody just enjoy your Fordham time while you're there. take advantage of it. Meet all the people you possibly can. Talk to your classmate, your neighbor, your lunch, the lunch people take care of you in the cafeteria, even though the food might not. Um, just everybody you possibly can, because you never know what you're doing for that person or what they might do for you.
A joy to be with you, and all best wishes to you and your family in your professional life and beyond. Thank you so much for being with us, Tad.
Thank you for having me.
This production has been aided and abetted by Athletic Director Ed Cole, Assistant Athletic Director Kara Field, and the indispensable and incomparable Joe DeBarry, also known as Mr. Everything, and a member of the Sports Information Directors Hall of Fame. As the great Ernie Harwell once said, I think I've done all the damage I can do. Please note no animals, especially rams, were harmed in the production of this Zoomcast nor any special effects used. And when all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do. Thanks so much, everybody, for putting up with me, and we'll see you next time on Ed Randall's Talking Rams.